The thing that is fascinating about these crews, as you can see the massive fatigue on the Oklahoma boat after a successful row, they get up at the crack of dawn and row. They get into a race and row 2,000 meters and get down to the end and almost throw up and think they're having a wonderful time. They're outstanding athletes. And even though it is an anonymous group of people in the boat, they just do an outstanding job and are to be highly respected for their athletic ability.
From the look of the Oklahoma crew there, even though they appeared to be sitting on the front of the race, I would say that they will know that they've been in one today. I don't think at any point they could take that race for granted or easily, which is a credit to the other crews in it.
Event number 5, Women's Collegiate Varsity, Heat B, Lane 1, Duke University. Lane 2, University of San Diego. Lane 3, Gonzaga University.
Gonzaga.
Lane 4, Kansas State University.
Kansas State.
Lane 5, Drexel University. Lane 6,
SDSU.
San Diego State University.
Fordham.
Lane 7, Fordham University.
Attention.
The flag is up. We have a start. Event number 5, Women's Collegiate Varsity. Very clean, all 7 crews away nicely. Variety of colors of shells in this race: gold, red, green, white, blue. Right now, the blue shell from Gonzaga, the Bulldogs, seem to have a slight advantage, although Duke over in lane 1 makes me a liar. Duke, the Blue Devils in lane 1 with a 2-seat advantage over the crews right next to them, the University of San Diego. And then it's outside to Gonzaga, pretty much following an order of the lanes, with the exception of lane 4, Kansas State being in that 4th position. All boats now establishing their rhythm once again. And right now, your race leader in lane 1, Duke University. Coxon calling for a power 10. They have a 4-seat advantage now over the crew in lane number 4. That's Kansas State. So it's Duke, Kansas State, University of San Diego, and then the other crews are bunched for those next positions. Very even contest here. Anybody can win this race. There's contact from first position to last position as we cross through the 500-meter mark. It's your race leader, the Blue Devils from Duke University in lane 1.
Bring it to that 1,000 and 4. We're charging. 5, show them, Emily. And 6, that's a row.
Checking once again our lane assignments for the Women's Collegiate. This is the Varsity. It's the second race in this category. And looking at the lane assignments, Duke, our current leader in lane number 1 along the shoreline. University of San Diego is in lane 2. In lane 3, Gonzaga, threatening to the lead is Kansas State. They're out there in lane number 4, followed by Drexel in 5, San Diego State in 6, and Fordham in 7.
They are fighting hard.
Duke, so far this year, have beaten Buffalo, Dayton, and Minnesota, but they've gone down to very strong programs from Louisville and Virginia. Virginia we'll see in the Jessup Whittier Cup later in the program. On their outside, University of San Diego have beaten Kansas State, Southern Methodist, but gone down to UCLA, Oklahoma, and Texas. Gonzaga have had one competitive hit out so far this year. They've gone down to Oregon State, but they and the University of San Diego are bitter West Coast Conference rivals, and this is a early season head-to-head between these two crews, who will no doubt be challenging for their conference championship at the end of the season. Kansas State in lane 4 have beaten their in-state rivals Kansas, Oklahoma City University, and Southern Methodist, but they've gone down to Tulsa, Oklahoma, Texas, University of San Diego, and Central Florida. Drexel in lane 5. They have beaten Delaware, LaSalle, and Villanova, but lost to St. Joseph's. And in lane 6, San Diego State have so far had losses to Loyola Marymount, Sacramento State, and UC Davis. Fordham in lane 7, no early season form.
3, make it happen, Emily. 4, that's it, Shaw. 5, we're charging. 6, keep on that run. 7, like you can stand here. 8, always. 9, 4 minutes in. 10, Cox's right between us. She's right between us. What do you want, so far?
Well, if you'd like to holler at 8 other people, that would be the job for you as a coxswain. We're listening to the coxswain on one of the crews. San Diego State is the one that is wired, and they are trying to catch up with the early leaders along the shoreline. Duke, right about the 1,000-meter mark, Duke got a little crossways in their lane and began to lose a little bit of ground there. And there is the young lady that's hollering. She's the second boat out in the red and black, and she's the one that is egging on her San Diego State University crew as they come across the bridge opening at the Ingram Street Bridge. From our high tower position, it looks like in the middle of our pack, number 4, lane 4, Kansas State, has begun to take a run at Duke. Duke, as I mentioned, right about the 1,000-meter mark, got a little edgewise in their lane and had to correct. And it's much better to go in a straight line to get down our 2,000-meter course than to try to take a detour through the Ingram Street Bridge and back around. Not too much wind problems down there. That certainly was not the cause of it. These crews in the early season still trying to shake out and understand who they are and how they operate. Duke along the shoreline appears to have fought back a little bit, but they can't get Kansas State on the outside to go away. And then on the far outside, San Diego State, Fordham, and Drexel seem to be having a little tussle of their own.
It looks as though Duke have created a little bit of separation in lane 1. They may have had a bit of a shaky trip through the 1,000-meter mark, but they seem to have steadied and they've accelerated away from the rest of the field. However, you could throw a blanket over the rest of the field, and it's going to be a very, very tough race here for second position. At the moment, it seems to be the University of San Diego who have grabbed an advantage over Kansas State and Gonzaga, but Gonzaga are sprinting, and it's these 3 crews that are duking it out for second place behind Duke. The crews in 5, 6, and 7, Drexel, San Diego State, and Fordham, seem to have lost a little bit of their pace, and it really seems to be between University of San Diego, Gonzaga, and Kansas State for that second position.
This is Duke along the shoreline, our current leader. And as Charles mentioned, they have gotten a little bit of open water and moved along, and they seem to be doing quite well. They aren't being, there is a battle, however, for that second position coming up, and that would be the University of San Diego moving up, Kansas State having dropped back a little bit. Gonzaga seemed to have been spent as they took a run at the 500-meter mark. Drexel moving up on the outside has eclipsed San Diego State University and Fordham on the outside. Back to our finish line, taking a look at Duke. Open water back to the University of San Diego. University of San Diego is in that second spot, but it's a battle for 3rd and 4th. 3rd and 4th, that is Gonzaga on the inside, Kansas State on the outside, and it looks like Gonzaga may have pushed a nose in front there, and Kansas State. Then we have a little battle between Drexel and San Diego State. Drexel holds off the Aztecs, and then on the outside, Fordham. So our unofficial winner in this heat is Duke, followed by the University of San Diego.
So Duke and the University of San Diego will be moving through unofficially to the grand final of this event, with the 2 crews that finished literally a bow ball apart, Gonzaga and Kansas State, to the petite, and Drexel and San Diego State to the 3rd final. Got nothing.
Yeah.